All right, so if you're a private money lender like me, your whole loan book probably lives in a spreadsheet right now. So watch this. I'm going to ask my computer one question in plain English. Which of my loans are past due and which of my investors are exposed to them? We are now in Claude Cowork and it's working on finding our loans. It's getting our loans. It's using a tool called LoanFlow that we're going to talk about shortly. And let's see what it does. We'll give it a few more seconds. Okay, here it is. Only one loan is genuinely past due. It's in Spokane. It's a single family residence. This is the borrower, and the investor that's exposed is Susan Wright, holding 100% of this loan. Her full $138,000 is at risk. Okay, so here it is. Every late loan, and right next to it, the investors whose money is sitting inside of that loan. That one question used to cost me about 30 minutes of digging through spreadsheets, and is now a few seconds. A little while back, I connected Claude directly to my lending business, and now I just talk to my loan book in plain English, and it answers me. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works and how to set the same thing up for yourself. And if you get something out of it, do me a big favor and tap that like button. It genuinely helps me out a lot. Now let's get into it. So let me rewind for a second, because I want to show you why that question, I just asked it, is normally such a pain. If you're a private lender, your loan book is almost certainly living in spreadsheets right now. You've got one tab for loans, one for payments, one for investors, and maybe another one for borrowers. And anytime you want a real answer, you're just stitching it together by hand. Which loans are late? Okay, go filter by that tab. Which investors are affected by a delayed project? Okay, now you're jumping to a different tab, matching up IDs, doing pivot tables, scrolling around. 30 minutes later, you finally have your answer, and it's probably also out of date. Look, I ran my own book exactly like this for a couple of years, and it slowly drove me crazy. Every time a payment came in late, or I had to create a report, I was right back there in those spreadsheets, piecing the whole thing together, the whole story, by hand, just hoping I hadn't fat-fingered a number somewhere along the way. And eventually, I just hit my limit with it. I build software for a living, so at some point I thought, why am I still running my own lending business out of a spreadsheet like it's 2005? So I sat down and I built my own tool to replace the entire mess. I called it LoanFlow. It keeps all of it in one place, the loans, the payments, the investors, and borrowers. So I'm not babysitting 5 tabs anymore. And getting it to talk to Claude? That was the easy part. That's the thing that most people get wrong here. They assume hooking AI up to your business takes some big, complicated setup. And it really doesn't. Let me show you the setup first. I open Claude and I just pointed at LoanFlow. Let me show you where that is. Claude has this section called connectors. If you don't know how to get here, you can find a bunch of YouTube videos on this specific topic. I will just go ahead and disconnect here because I already connected it to show you that demo. Give it a second to disconnect. Okay, it disconnected. And all I have to do is click connect over here. I click connect. And what happens is Claude is going to make me authenticate on another browser. It's showing up on my other screen over here. So I'll turn my attention here. And it already connected because I was already logged in. So here it is. It shows what tools are available, so it can get your borrowers, your investors, your loans, your payments, and now you're connected. And that's the whole connection right there. Once it's linked, Claude can see my whole portfolio. It can see the loans, the payments, investors, borrowers, and I can just ask it whatever I want. And one thing that I should say upfront, because I know people always ask me this, the tool only reads the data. It can't change anything and it can't delete anything. It just looks and it answers. Okay, quick heads up before I dig in. Everything I'm about to show you is running on a sample portfolio. So these aren't real borrowers and the numbers aren't real either. But the experience is identical to what you would get with your own book with real numbers. Let's do another quick demo. Let's start with something simple. Let's ask it for a portfolio summary. I'll use a speech to text tool here. Hey, can you give me a portfolio summary of my loans? And now let's see what it does. As you can see, it's exactly doing that. It's getting a portfolio summary from LoanFlow. Okay, perfect. So here it is. The portfolio value is 2.85 million across 11 loans. It gives me the status, 7 active, 1 late, the Spokane one that we know, 1 matured, 1 is archived. We have 9 borrowers and 4 investors. And it also gives me something to pay attention to, like there are 2 overdue payments and there are 8 upcoming payments. Awesome. So this kind of stuff usually requires a pivot table on a spreadsheet or some fancy charts and a lot of tedious work. Now, I just asked it in plain English and it came back in a few seconds. Okay, so now that we saw that, let's go back to the initial question. I'm not going to ask it again, but I want to drive a point home here because this is a real question that happens all the time if you're a lender, right? Which loans are past due and which investors are exposed to them. Now, this question used to eat my entire afternoon because the information lives in 2 different parts of the business, right? You have your loans and you also have your investors. And Claude pulls the past due loans and then it matches them with the investors who funded those specific loans. And it just hands you the picture like you see it here. So in this sample book, it comes back with the late loans plus the investors whose money is sitting inside of them. And that is the whole point, because when a loan goes sideways, the very first thing you need to know is who you owe a phone call to. Now, you get that out of one question. With that, let me show you my favorite part here. I need to bring something over. Okay, here it is. So here, the screen that I'm bringing on the left is my phone. And on the phone, I'm going to ask it the same question. Hey, can you tell me the name of that investor who is on the late loan in Spokane, please? Now we watch it work. Okay, here it is. The investor on that Spokane loan is Susan Wright. And as we see it over here, it is Susan Wright. And why is this powerful? Let me drive that home. It's because you don't have to sit at your desk to answer this question, right? You can kick the whole thing off from your phone. You send Claude a question and it goes and works through your loan book in the background. And the answers come back right to you. So if a question about the loan pops into your head when you're out running around, you just ask it and then a minute later you get your answer. So my own loan book went from being something where I have to sit down at my laptop to open to something that I can just talk to from my pocket. And that's pretty powerful. Okay, so let me be straight with you about what this is and how you can actually get it. The tool is called LoanFlow. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. And you can start completely free. The free plan lets you manage your first 3 loans, track payments, and give your investors updates. All of it at no cost. So if you're just getting started, there's honestly no reason to stay on that spreadsheet another day. Then when your book grows, the Pro license is $79 a month for unlimited loans and unlimited investors. And the Claude or Copilot or Codex integration you just watched, talking to your whole book in plain English, that part lives in Pro. One question answered from your phone though, basically pays for it. And look, if you're running a bigger lending operation and you want something custom built around your exact workflow, that's the kind of thing that I do as well. Find a link for that in the description. But for most private lenders, just starting free and seeing it for yourself will do the trick. Go to LoanFlow, again, link in the description and the pinned comment, connect it to Claude or your other favorite tool, and ask your loan book a question. I think you'll really get it the second that you watch your numbers come back. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you on the next one.